guys, I'm Apryl Thomas with TourismStrong, and with me I have John Chinster and Renee Ambeth with Sunspot America, and they're going to talk to us about their reopening process. So I'm going to turn it over to them. First, let's begin with just a thumbnail sketch for our listeners. What is Sunspot America?
So Sunspot America is a family-owned and operated theme park here in the Central Florida area. We specialize in like 3- and 4-story tall go-kart tracks, roller coasters, something for everyone. It's probably about a 6 to 8 hour day here at the park, but over 20+ rides to choose from.
Well,
anything you'd like to add?
It's a wonderful place to create family memories. We have some of the best wooden roller coasters in all of Florida here at Sunspot America. We're very, very pleased with well, everything we have to offer.
Now, when did you have to close? What was the last day for you?
Are we speaking of back in March?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it was, looking at the calendar, it was March 24th.
And what did you do at that time period? Did you offer any
during that time
activities or anything, or?
Yeah, we pretty much reinvigorated the park, would be the way I would put it. There's very few things that haven't been touched during that time period. There's been an awful lot of cleaning up, repainting, refurbishing, going down that long list of to-do things that we have, and accomplishing virtually everything on the list. And we've thrown out an awful lot of stuff that needed to be thrown out a long time ago. But for the most part, it was just freshening up the park.
And did you work with any specific companies, or was it just all your own employees, or what was the process?
Yeah, for the most part, it was our staff. We managed to keep all of our staff throughout this process, you know, from the standpoint of, while not everyone was here on site working, but we kept everybody on the payroll, which was quite an accomplishment and a wonderful, wonderful benefit, if you will, brought in by the Aries family. So John Jr. did a great job of taking care of everyone.
That's very fortunate. That's very fortunate. Mm-hmm. What were the process of developing, I guess, a reopening plan? Because no one's had to deal with this. And I don't know, you know, it's different than from, let's say, a terrible storm or something like that. This is unusual. What steps did you take while keeping your brand to get prepared for the reopening?
Well, part of it is we're all working together during that time period, trying to figure out what it was we were doing in the park, but at the same time looking forward to when we could open. And so much of it is not knowing when you can open and hoping with that. But the main thing is, you know, still working with our media partners, folks that we work with, and just kind of keeping them informed as to, you know, what's happening, what we know, when we'll be able to go back on broadcast, or when we'll be able to reach out to other customers and let them know when we can open. But we also maintained a presence in the marketplace while we were closed. I mean, whether it be through outdoor advertising, we continue to have commercials in the market that were part of sponsorship packages and things like that we have. And so we've always kind of maintained a presence and trying to just keep the awareness level of who we are and what we hope people will want to do during that time period, so that when it came to opening, we were able to hit the ground running.
Excellent. And what steps have you taken to ensure safety, or what can you tell families and guests that, hey, you know, we're safe, come visit us?
Well, outside of our certainly what is our mantra here is safe, clean, fun. We do live by that. We've taken, like everyone else in the industry, we've taken pride in making sure that we're following CDC guidelines along with state and local guidelines. We have what we call a clean team, and their employees, that their sole purpose is to be out, clean and sanitize areas that are often your high touch areas throughout the parks, all the railings. They work with just maintaining cleanliness on tables, benches, and areas where guests will congregate, just to make sure that we're following those standards. We've installed numerous amounts of hand sanitizer locations throughout the parks, so that they're all within easy eyesight, and guests, they serve as a reminder to our guests to, if not wash their hands, but then also to sanitize their hands using that. And that's a big part of it, is just making sure that we're communicating with them. We have signs throughout the park that remind them about social distancing, and those we feel are important steps to take. You'll see most of our guests, we certainly highly recommend that people wear masks while visiting here in the park, and you'll see guests doing that as well. So for the most part, I think people are getting the message, and people are adopting that message, that social distancing, and that's been very, very fortunate.
Excellent. Looking back, what did you wish you knew or had or were prepared for? I mean, it was an unusual experience, but looking back now, what did you wish? Maybe if there's one thing.
Boy. I think how long for me on the group sales side of life is how long, when we kind of went into March and getting into spring break, that's a very busy time for the park and things, and just, nobody knew how bad it was kind of moving or how quickly in that sense. So some of the cancellations were taking place, and then how long it was going to be kind of stretched out, and, making that decision, the right one, but still a difficult choice to close the park down, and then, just going through and calling back to clients and letting them know, these are closed, and getting everything kind of shut down, because again, still in March, people were still here in market and wanting to travel, and now it's at that point where, getting that consumer confidence back is key, and it's just constantly putting that message back out there that we are open, we are safe. I've been inviting quite a few different decision makers out that had some larger groups with us on coming out for site inspection, so they can firsthand see the policy and procedures and what we are doing at this point in time, and just getting everybody a little bit more comfortable. But even still at this point, today's June 11th, and I'm still having certain clients that are just now getting back to work, and some of us didn't stop. We were lucky that we kind of were able to forge through. But it's a constant cycle of retraining, re-educating, and you're having a lot of those same conversations over and over, because everybody's in a different process than where you're at, and just being patient. It's hard. So being patient is all you can do.
Do you feel like there's any difficulty in getting that message out? Has there been any difficulty?
You mean the message regarding being open?
Yes, open. We're safe. We're open. We've got everything in place. You feel like has there been any
I think that's been easy enough.
As far as communicating that, that's not been difficult. I think it's the same thing on perception, on what they feel is right for them. And everybody's in a different cycle, just like that. Everybody's coming back to work at different times. Everybody's also in a different place of what they feel is safe at this point in time. Yes, everybody needs to get back to work, but do I have to go out of my house fully just yet? Everybody's in that different place. And so everybody's willing and wants to have that conversation, but they might just not be ready to make that purchase yet. But they're open to it. They want to have something to look forward to. So just keeping in touch with them.
And we've been very fortunate. We have wonderful support from local media coming out and doing a lot of interviews. We did numerous interviews here at the park, and that's very beneficial with getting the word out that we were open. When we opened, the day we opened, we got the word from the governor's office at 1:30, and by 2 o'clock we were open. And there There was nothing other than, hey, we're opening in a half hour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, but no, we had our employees here. They were all training, they were working, and so it was just a natural evolution. And within 5 minutes after 2 o'clock, we had guests coming in. You know, put it out on social media and let folks know, and they just responded immediately. There's that many people that are saying we want something to do.
It sounds like you have a good base and you have good local media support, which is very important. What about
Yeah, it is. It is.
government? Was that difficult or maybe a little strange?
I think it goes back to Renee's statement of patience.
I actually didn't quite catch the question.
The question was, how is it working with local government through this process?
Right. It seems like everything was coming. You hear different things every day. It had to be like, okay, let's try to get on the same page.
Yes.
Yeah,
Everybody on the same page is
a good thing.
Yes.
It's a good thing. And also, you know, walk in their shoes for a moment and try to figure out what they have to do and the decisions that they had to make, you know, along this process. And so we were fortunate here in Orlando that we had a dedicated group of local business representatives that really worked hard with our elected officials to provide them with information and work with them through the various planning of reopening. And you know, we can't thank those folks enough for their involvement with the various task force groups and meetings that were conducted. So I think that helped us all out immeasurably to be able to have that support throughout the entire community.
Excellent. That's just terrific. It's great news that people are ready to come back and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Before we wrap this up, what advice would you give to other attractions in the same situation? He may not be as far as long as Florida is in the opening up. They may still be in phase 1, or they may just be getting ready. What do you feel like you can share with them, or words of a...
Well, we're familiar with an attraction that's a lot like us in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And they're smaller. They're smaller than we are here, but they're mighty of heart and soul. And they're called Fun Spot, by the way. And they open on Friday. So we're opening our 3rd location this Friday in Atlanta. And so many of the learnings that we have acquired here in Florida, we've applied to our park in Georgia. And it's just taken that state a little longer to come to grips with, you know, the reopening process. And certainly they did not have the luxury in the state of Georgia of having the experienced members in task force where, you know, they covered many, many areas, whether it was hotel, restaurant, lodging, entertainment category, ourselves in the amusement industry and such. So, but we've applied those learnings to open our facility in Fayetteville, Georgia as well.
Okay, well,
so come see us Friday.
Definitely. Well, John and Nate, I thank you so much. I know us at TourismStrong, thank you too. I appreciate y'all being available. And good luck with the new opening in Georgia.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.